Hello and welcome to the workshop. I just thought I'd very quickly kick this video off with a quick look at the workshop. It looks pretty much the same, but I promise it is more organised. Last time we saw this place, there was a hell of a lot more boxes down there, which have now been stored, put together, and are mainly down here. And we've cleared this desk a little bit. It's currently got bits that we're working on, which we're going to go over in a second. So some prime models, some bits that I've dug out as well, because we've had some new purchases. We've been a little bit cheeky, but I feel they were necessary, so I'm standing by it. And one of the reasons everything's been dragged out down here is, unfortunately, we've had a little mouse or many mice in the workshop, and they've taken a shine to my foam board, so that bit's a little bit wrecked, but we'll get to it. And I've had to clean all down here because all down here was covered in little mice droppings, and they've even, the little beggars, so these volume knobs on my little stereo, this is where the little top bits were, and not satisfied with one, they've decided to chew off all three of the little arrow bits, I think, or they've had a gnaw on each little bloody volume knob and thingy, which is slightly annoying, but there you go. So that's the workshop. It's tidy. I'm knocking things off, so we'll quickly go over what has been built and what is ready to go up to paint and prime, as well as some of the bits we've sorted out for some of the conversion type of things I've got planned. Okay, so first of all, and I'm going to put some pictures up of these as well, so we get a nice clear picture of what we're doing. So these are just drying at the minute. We've got 3 aggressors which have had their base priming of demonic yellow army paint spray, which is this one or that one in your face. Oh, just fell over and crushed a mini, but that's fine. The can's nearly out. I'm not very happy with the coverage on it. And if we can get it into focus, I'll show you why. So, I'm not bad at spraying. I used to do spraying for a little bit of when I worked in an aluminium factory. And this is kind of like the same. I'll try and get some pictures on this as well, if we can. But as you can see there, it tends to build up quite quickly, and it just doesn't disperse. It didn't help that I think this one got dropped as well, so he's got a few bits in it. But we've got the aggressors, we've got the 5 jump marines, and again I'll put some pictures up right about now. All ready to rock and roll. They're dry and they're sorted. Whee! This guy, I love this mini. He's Chaplain. He's had his shoulder pad removed. I can't remember which one he was from. Was it the Indominus Crusade? But I really, really like this guy. Originally was a Iron Hands, because I was going to do Iron Hands for a little while. And he had an Iron Hand shoulder. So I've just taken that off, and he's going to basically get his base redone, so it's matching, and he's going to be kind of like a new shoulder pad, which will bring us nicely onto these bits. So we've got the 3D printer has been working fine. So we've got a spare aggressor pad, which I ended up didn't need in the end. We've got 10 or so standard ones which just need a little bit of a trim up and a clean up for the lamenters. It's hard to see because it's see-through, but they have come out all right. And then we've got some 10 heavy intercessors, which I'm tempted to trade this heavy intercessors because I like them. I've got some in my Imperial Fist, but they're not particularly great models to put together, if I'm honest. Then we've got some bits. So, 1 second. So, where were we? Yeah, so 3D printed shoulder pad. I don't know why, every time I start recording, down here, in the freezing cold, trying to get a quick job done, someone rings. But there we go. So, 3D printed shoulders, thinking about getting rid of the heavy intercessors, might sell them and use the money to buy some regular intercessors. Don't know, not 100% sure yet. So we've got some little dangly Crux Terminatus things to go on some Terminators. We've got some flagpoles also potentially, and I'll go over that in a minute when we get into the inside workspace of what we might use those for. Then I've got a number of different purity seals and things like that, some already painted, because some of the Marines, dare I say, are looking a little bit plain. And then some Terminator weapons, which I'm going to have a look at for size on the new Terminators. So yeah, so that's kind of some bits we've got ready and waiting. Other bits that are in our box, if we just close this and get it out of the way. We've got, should we open it up to have a little bit of a look? So there's some flesh tearer symbols, which by the by, we don't need them, but these are all Blood Angel bits. So we've got, what's that, legs, they're not much good, but we've got some like power weapons, some jump packs, some arms, some weapons, some little greebly bits and stuff like that. I believe they're from the Sanguinary Guard, as well as Death Company Marines. So yeah, we've got those to have a play with, see if we can do some kit bashing and converting. And also, we've got a bunch of Firstborn Marines, the old school. Don't ignore the waste bag. This is just because it was a clean poly bag. We waste not, want not in this household. That's why it's filled with so much crap. So these are old heads. Some have been painted, some are pretty clean. These are basically going to go on some other Marines again, which we'll go over in the inside space. So we've got those, we've got that. And then the last thing, which I'm not going to talk about too much in this video, is we've got these. Ta-da! Not the Pepsi Max. Boo to Pepsi Max. No, actually, boo to Pepsi Max. I like Pepsi Max. Yeah, so we've got some little Tyrannid type of things. Because, yes, I bought the new starter set. Because it's been a long time since I've actually played any form of 40k, and I wanted the starter set because I think it was 60 quid, and you got some of the new Tyrannid stuff, which I have already got some Tyrannids, insert some pictures here, and it's got some new Marines and stuff like that, because the Force is very vehicle heavy, because I seem to remember I bought a load of vehicles for one of the other Space Marine chapters I was working on, which, sneak peek here, but in a future episode we're going to go over these a little bit more, because I've decided, because I do a hell of a lot of narrative stuff in my spare time, because, you know, I am that sad. I do get that bored. And I always find having a narrative, having an in-depth feel of what you're working on in the background, is always helps you progress your building project, your hobby project. So we're going to do some narrative stuff, I think, and we're going to take a look at my sector of space in the 40k universe, which has got these guys, who are the prime time enemy now. And we'll go over that in another video that I need to put together. This is kind of like the hobby update. So every now and again we're going to be getting like a story time narrative update, as well as a kind of how to do your own narrative things. Because when I first started doing my homebrew stuff, it took me I searched and searched and searched and searched and searched to try and find how people do the homebrew stuff. And there's not much on YouTube, so I'm going to try and fill that void because I can't be the only one. But yeah, so we've got these little Tyranids. We'll look at the scheme, or the scheme for at least the little gribbly gaunts things. And then these are going to be slightly different because the Death Leapers, and the others might be slightly different because narrative reasons. That's all we're going to say for now. So yeah, so we will now adjourn after I've primed Tacamarinus Doofus, or whatever he's called. Tacmarine. I actually really like this model. I think he's good. We're gonna get him primed, and then thingy. I wanted to get these sorted, but I still can't find the shields. I need to go through another box, and at some point as well, there'll be some of these guys. Yes, that is Angron. He's primed, he's built, and he's ready to rock and sausage roll. So yeah, so enough of that. We will see you on the inside where it's warm because my nose is dripping. So we're back. We're inside. It's warm. We're back. We're inside. It's warm. We're more comfy. So update as regards to what I've been buying first of all. So I know the whole point of the Grey Crusade is to essentially get rid of Grey, not add to it. But as I was saying, I have got a lot of tanks because that was going to be the last homebrew chapter I was doing. That was going to be their thing. They had lots and lots and lots of tanks. But tanks make a rounded army not very well. So in English, there was too many tanks. I didn't have much infantry. I'm on the fence whether I want to use the heavy intercessors or not, because I like the models. I like the idea of Space Marines in Gravis armor with big honking heavy bolters mowing down things. But the actual model kit, I built quite a few of them and I don't like them. There's not much of a jam, but I have only got 10 of them and I have printed the shoulder pads, so we'll probably end up doing them eventually. But I bought the starter kit, which is the basic one, this one on screen now. And you get basically a little Space Marine force and a little Tyranid force. I've already got some Tyranids. As I've said, I've got an old start collecting box, the old start collecting box, which had the is it the Morlock? I don't know. I can't remember. The worm one that comes up from the ground, and it had some Gene Stealers. And I don't like Gene Stealers, but that's fine. And I bought I won't call it a Tervagon. It might not be a Tervagon. It's the one that gives birth to all the little ones, the little Termagaunts. And I've got some existing Tervagaunts. They're all in boxes somewhere. We need to go through them and find them out. But yeah, I saw a paint scheme. I was watching a video and it looked like this, kinda. It's black and gold. And I looked at it and I was like, do you know what? That looks quite cool. That looks quite smart. And it's a nice, simple, quick paint scheme for these little guys, which are a pain in the neck to paint lots of them. I get bored when I'm painting lots of them, especially on my old paint screen, which was kind of like green with like a toxic orange, and then I could never quite decide on what colour the carapace bit should be. So these are nice and simple. For the bigger ones, definitely the Death Leapers I'm thinking they're going to be more like your traditional xenomorph aliens from the films Aliens. And for everything else, I'm just going to kind of like thingy. But I like this metallic look. And there's a reason for that. So we've got some Tyranids that we'll work on. I've painted 9 of these so far. Yeah, we've got 9 of them built and painted. The bases need doing, but I'm going to do them all in one lump. We've got the 2 big boys, Larry and Larry, built and painted. This is fantastic. He's got a little Space Marine arm that he's eating, and this prime tyrant prime thing I'm not that keen on, but that's fine. So we've got essentially got an enemy for us Lamenters, but you know, we're here for the Lamenters, so let's actually talk about the Lamenters and not the new stuff. So on the actual conversion front, because we mentioned we got all those bits, I have built this guy, and he's all right. He doesn't look bad. He doesn't look very lamentary, and I don't fancy trying to do a painted check pattern. So what I was thinking with the flag bits, these bits, is either going old school and having it on his back, or maybe having some sort of get in there, some sort of flag that he's planted. That actually doesn't look too bad. Some sort of flag which has got the Lamenter symbol on. So then we'll have the yellows. He'll be a bit more ornate because he's a captain in Terminator armor. So usually, traditionally, Terminator's a first company. I don't know if that's changed anymore. But then we'll have that. I can happily freehand, well, happily-ish freehand some form of Lamenter's iconography on there. So that's fine. And then I've not got them built or out the box yet. But the other Terminators, leave you there. So the new Terminators, I need to look at them and see if I can print out some shoulder pads for them to make life easier on that front. All depends, because on the Captain, this bit, I'll put some arrows to it. So the bit which joins onto the shoulder pad is also part of the elbow plate, which makes it a bit of a pain in the neck to take it out and print one and then kind of like trim off the shield, the tilting shield, and the shoulder, the elbow. It's doable, but then you're sticking plastic onto resin, so then you're messing around with super glue on detailed parts, and you just guarantee one wrong squeeze, and that's it. You're in pieces. You're in a mess. So yeah, and then all the purity seals and stuff like that. He needs more. I just feel like he needs more. I'm going to try and make him out to be a more of a grizzled veteran. We might even take the scalpel and the drill to him to make him look super beat up. So as you can see in the background, it's not in focus, but that's the competition entry. And it is done, and we're going to look at that last. But first, let's quickly look at something that is pretty much complete. The 99.9% complete. And there we go. So, I don't know how this is going to turn out on the actual screen, but these look a lot more orangey yellow than they do in real life, but that's fine. We might have to tweak with the color correction. But as you can see, we've got these pretty much done. These are our 5 intercessors. These are Dark Imperium intercessors. Unfortunately, some of the details had worn away and things like that because of constant stripping. These have probably been in... Oh, what did they start out life as? So these have been Purple was one of their first incarnations when they were part of the Wardens of Orion, the Woo Marines, and they were purple. And then they were these Iron Warriors? Not Iron Warriors. Iron Fists? No. The Ferris Manus's, completely forgot the Legion name. That's a proper brain fart moment there. But yeah, then I believe they were Ferris's boys for a little bit, and then they got stripped down again, and then they were another homebrew chapter, and then they got stripped down again. That was a dark blue and black chapter. That was the Unbroken Sons, and then they got stripped down, and I want to say they were green at one point, and then I think they got stripped down again. And here they are now. This is the final incarnation. They can't take another stripping. The detail is going. They've been through enough. So regardless of what happens, these will remain Lamenters forever. There's still some minor touch-ups on the shoulders and stuff like that to do. They're looking suitably dirty. That hides hides most of the crap detail on them. There's going to be some weathering powders put on these as well. The bases, as it stands at the moment, need to be painted to match the captain's base. We're going with kind of like a best way I can describe it is a World War I battlefield kind of feeling. It's going to have bits of old buildings sticking out of it. But this place has been bombed and fought over, and it's all muddy and sodden and a mess. So that's them. And then we've got the competition entry, which is done. So we can put nice big pictures of that upon this screen because I've already done it. I've already taken those pictures. It has been entered. I've still got a week left. We will park Holy Smoke up in front of the camera though, just so we've got. Look, you there? Focus on Holy Smoke. It's just. There we go. That's Holy Smoke. So yeah, the pilot could do with, or could have done with a little bit more work. But what will happen is he will get replaced for a closed rhino hatch at some point. I have gone to town on this as far as weathering powders and pigments and oil washes and stuff like that. It's not to everybody's taste. I get that. I like mine dirty in a realistic dirty fashion. Now, some people might say this is not realistic dirty fashion. I get that. I kind of like take my inspiration on the dirt and the grime and how rusty bits get in there and how machines that are looked after but are used, because, you know, I've got tractors, I've got little diggers and things like that. In the past, I've done all the maintenance on them myself and the cleaning, and, you know, you see how they weather. You see how, especially how grime builds up on yellow. So that's kind of how it looks a little bit on a dirty, oily machine that is ploughed around muddy places. So that's kind of our competition entry. I'll not know until next Tuesday the 13th, how well it's done. The competitions aren't about winning as such. There's no prizes. It is literally, you just enter it. It's a good way to get inspiration, to get like models completed and stuff like that. That'll be over on the Black Toad Studio YouTube channel. So I'll if I remember, I'll drop a link in the description for Tom and Dom's stream. It's usually 8 o'clock. They're a good set of lads. I like them a lot. I've got a lot of time for both of them. They're really helpful. They've got a good little community going on. They're always trying to grow it with the right sort of people as well. So if you're interested and maybe you're not part of the 40k hobby or anything like that, and you want to see what kind of people take part in it, and you know what other people get up to and that, watch the stream. Also, see about joining their Discord channel as well. It's only a small Discord channel, but in a lot of ways, it's better than the bigger Discord channels. I have been a moderator and an admin on a few of the bigger Discord channels for the 40k chapters in the past. Still am on a couple of them. Raven Guard one. I think I'm still one of the admins on the Raven Guard one. The problem with the bigger servers, especially if you're new, there's so much information and it's so overwhelming, you tend to get a little bit lost. So it's a nice little way to get to know people in the hobby if it's something that you're interested in. And if you want to ask any questions, there's always someone on there willing to answer, such as myself. I'll always answer any questions people have. But that is it for now on the updates, I suppose, apart from how I'm going to do the video. So the actual update hobby vlog are probably going to be a bit more shotgun like this, you know, shove it down a barrel, fire it out. I was originally going for a structured kind of like look, but it didn't work in the editing, so apologies for that last episode, that first episode. It was garbage. I lost some footage, and it just didn't gel. There will be some more semi-serious-ish narrative stuff coming, because these Lamenters, these Tyranids, the War Boars, and all my other, like my Sisters of Battle, my Guard Infantry, and stuff like that are all in the same sector. And I've decided, I've been writing it down for years, all the different planets and stuff like that. I'm going to do some homebrewing stuff, and I'm going to show the world on YouTube how I do it. So then, if you want to do it, then you can do that. Because I don't really play 40k. I can't even remember the last time I played 40k with anyone or by myself, because you can play 40k on your own. It's a bit lonely, it's a bit boring, but you can do it. But it's a good couple of editions ago. But I do like modelling, I do like painting, I do like kit bashing and converting, and I really, really like coming up with narrative stuff. So, yeah, there you go. We can... I can show people that. I can show you how to make your own Space Marine chapters and your Chaos chapters. And for some people it might work. Some people might think, what are you doing, you idiot? This is rubbish by the way you're doing it. But works for me. I have literally got reams and reams and reams and reams and reams of paper, if I was to print them off, of homebrew stuff. So yeah, we've got that to look forward to. And obviously there's all the X4 stuff constantly going on as well, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, even though it is slowly but surely probably killing me, to be fair, with the X4 stuff, because I've not caught up from Christmas. So there you go. Check those out if you like PC gaming and sci-fi games and stuff like that. Check those out. But until the next update, there's no set schedule for these. These are just coming out whenever I feel like filming them and shooting them. Yeah, enjoy your day. Thank you for watching, and until next time.